Good evening, friends. It's time to read. We continue our reading of First Kings tonight. Thank you for joining us as we read from the scriptures together. First Kings. Good evening again, Don and Linda. We're in chapter 2. We'll be resuming at verse 19. So we are in this long, 11 chapter long introduction and description of the reign of King Solomon. Solomon is now king. David has died, and Solomon is king. We're going to pick up in an interesting moment here. Remember, at the beginning of this book, in chapter 1, an elder brother of Solomon, Adonijah, attempted to, by force, by persuasion, take on the kingdom, take the throne from his not yet dead father. And he had the support of some. And, well, that didn't quite work out because of Nathan the prophet and Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and their discovery of this plot on the part of Adonijah. We're coming back to Adonijah. Adonijah, who has had an interesting request. Remember, also early in the chapter, there was description of this young virgin, young maiden, who was called upon to keep King David warm. She's not a wife, she's not a concubine, she's just a source of body heat for an old, frail man who was having difficulty staying warm. Nothing more to see there than that. And Adonijah has gotten this idea now that he can't have the throne, now that he can't be king. Well, maybe he can have this young virgin for himself, and not as his father had this young virgin. He wants her to be a wife. He won't go to ask Solomon directly. Instead, he's gone and he's asked Bathsheba to inquire of Solomon and to ask of Solomon. It's a nice little case of triangulation. Solomon would certainly say no to him, he knows, but maybe, certainly he wouldn't reject a request from his own mother. And where we pick up here tonight, well, Adonijah has successfully managed to lay the triangulation trap. And Bathsheba is going to go and speak on behalf of Adonijah, who is not her son, by the way. Her son's half brother, the son of another woman. Interesting place to pick up. Good evening, Anthony. Good evening, Mom. Good evening, Cheryl. So, friends, we read beginning at verse 19 of chapter 2, and I will be reading as we have been doing so with Hebrew Scriptures text so far. I will be reading from the Complete Jewish Bible, and that's in the left-hand column. In the right-hand column, you see the text of the New Revised Standard Version. And the Complete Jewish Bible is just that. It's a Jewish Bible. So some things are not going to sound familiar to our Christian ears. I'll make sure to explain what these things are that don't quite sound familiar. They really are. And a number of them are, well, fairly similar. Not all of them, though. Let's read. So Bathsheba, remember that's Bathsheba, Bathsheba went to King Shlomo, Solomon, to speak to him on behalf of Adonijah. The king rose to meet her and bowed down to her. Then he sat down on his throne and had a throne set up for the king's mother, so that she sat at his right. She said, I am asking one small favor of you. Don't deny me. The king said to her, Ask, mother. I won't deny you. She said, Let Abishag, as we know her, let Abishag the Shunammite, be given to Adonijah, your brother, as his wife. King Shlomo answered his mother, Why are you asking Abishag the Shunammite for Adonijah? Ask the kingdom for him too. After all, he's my older brother. Yes, for him, and for Avitar the Kohen, Abiathar the priest, and for Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Joab is Job, the son of Zeruiah. It sounds like Solomon's a little testy here. Yeah, actually, even with his own mother. But more so, remember David in his dying moments affirmed Solomon's wisdom. More so, I think Solomon realizes that his brother is up to no good and has tricked his own mother. So his real issue is with his brother, not his mother. Verse 23. Then King Shlomo swore by Adonai, May God do terrible things to me and worse, if Adonijah hasn't condemned himself to death with this request. Now, therefore, as Adonai lives, who has established me, put me on the throne of David my father, and set up a dynasty for me, as he promised, Adonijah will certainly be put to death today. King Shlomo commissioned Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he struck him down so that he died. Well, there's the end of Adonijah, who was a threat to David's reign and was a threat to Solomon's reign, and clearly had no good intentions for wanting Abishag to be his wife. It would have been a source of legitimacy. legitimacy for pushing him to make an attempt at being the legitimate king. He's older, he's got Abishag. Verse 26. To Abiathar the Kohen, Abiathar the priest, the king said, "You get yourself to Anathoth, to your own fields. You deserve to die, but I won't put you to death just now, since you did carry the ark of Adonai Elohim before David my father, and you suffered together with my father in everything he suffered." So Shlomo forced Abiathar out of his task as Kohen to Adonai, so that what Adonai had said in Shiloh about the family of Eli might be fulfilled. When the news came to Joab, he fled to the tent of Adonai and took hold of the horns of the altar. For Joab had given his support to Adonijah, even though he had not supported Absalom. King Shlomo was told, "Joab has fled to the tent of Adonai. He's there by the altar." Shlomo sent Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, with the order, "Go, strike him down." Benaiah came to the tent of Adonai and said to him, "The king says, leave." He answered, "No, I'd rather die here." Benaiah brought the message back to the king. "This is what Joab said to me." The king answered him, "Do what he said. Strike him down and bury him. In this way you will take away from me and my father's family the blood which Joab shed for no reason." That's a reference back to Absalom, by the way. Remember that. Joab disobeyed King David's orders and killed King David's disobedient and rebellious, treasonous son who was seeking to kill his own father and become king in place of David. David had told his commanders to have mercy on his son, even though Absalom had no desire to show mercy to his own father. Joab killed him. Verse 32. Adonai will bring his blood back on his own head because he struck down two men more righteous and better than he. He killed them with the sword without my father David's awareness. Avner, the son of Ner, Abner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amasa, the son of Yeter, commander of the army of Yehuda. Amasa, son of Jether. Maybe I'm not remembering that correctly. I think I'm pretty certain he also did actually kill Absalom, as I mentioned. We'll have to look at that, but not now. Verse 33. In this way their blood will return on the head of Joab and his descendants forever. But for David, his descendants, and his family, and his throne, there will be peace forever from Adonai. So Benaiah the son of Jehoiada went up, struck him down, and killed him. He was buried in his own house in the desert. The king put Benaiah the son of Jehoiada in charge of the army instead of him, and the king replaced Abiathar with Zadok the Kohen, Zadok the priest. That, friends, is where we're going to pause. So next time, verse 36 of chapter 2 is where we will resume. Have a blessed evening, friends. Peace be with you.